do I have today? Oh, I have this interview at 8 o'clock. Hi, come on in.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. My name is Vincent Jaku.
I'm Karina.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
So
meet you.
before we start, I have to go over one thing, and that one thing is confidentiality. As you already know, probably from the other social worker, I'm a placement student here, and she asked me to do this interview for my schooling. So I chose to do it here. So as a student, I cannot offer any form of legal confidentiality. Whatever you choose to share with me during our practice session will remain confidential, except the following. I am strictly required to report any shared instances of abuse to yourself or others, any indication of neglect or abuse to children ages 16 and under, sexual assault from a healthcare physician or person of the OCSW, SSW, a client file has been legally subordinated to court, and you will go to court for this. And I will be sharing non-identifying information with the class and my instructor. Are you okay with these terms?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty. So before we get started with our session, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
That's good. So tell me a little bit about why you're here to see me today.
So it's just up until recently I started my last year of university in September, and then between these couple of months, the workload is just getting like extremely. It's just too much for me, and then it's becoming more difficult, and I'm not used to it. As well as I will have to think of my future, and if I want to apply for grad school, or if I want to go working, and if I was to work, what kind of job that I was to do, and what kind of program to apply for in grad school. And it's just becoming overwhelming for me, so I thought maybe I can come around and talk to you and see if I can get any valuable advices or opinion from you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for coming and talking to me. It actually takes courage. I know so many people personally that they said to me, I don't want to come for help, I'm okay, and they end up doing some really horrifying things that I've seen from my end, and so that's why I'm grateful to have you here today. And so I understand where you're coming from. I myself am a student. I'm doing this placement 3 times a week, and on top of that, I have 2 days a week of school with a lot of classes. And so my one question I wanted to ask in terms of schooling, why did you decide to go into university? Why didn't you decide to maybe take a year off or go to college? Why did you choose this path? Tell me a little bit about it.
It's pretty much default for me. That's asked by my family, and I've never really had to question about it. So yeah, I've never thought about.
Alrighty. Go on whenever you're ready. Look. Alrighty. So, tell me why you chose the path of university. Why didn't you take a year off or go to college?
Because it was a default for me set by my family. I didn't really have a chance to think about anything else other than going to university straightly.
Okay. That's awesome. Not a lot of people think that way, but that's pretty cool. Can you tell me what your life is like without school? So tell me what your life is like.
I mean, like, my life is like nothing without school, because my life evolves around school, and now I'm about to graduate and my life will stop evolving around school. So I mean, that might be like a part of my anxiety as well. Do you think?
to me, really, it depends on the factors in your life. So with me, besides school, my other issue is how to help I have a little brother at home, and he has certain issues that I have to kind of direct him and help him, and that sometimes gives me a lot of stress. But it depends on factors too. Like it depends on, do you sleep well at night? Do you have brain stress? So does your brain stress all the time of school, of work, of whatever you have else going on? Also, it depends on, do you exercise enough? Do you eat well enough? Or do you eat junk food every day while you're studying for your classes? These are also factors to consider. Do you drink alcohol every day? Because that also impacts on your schooling, on your life outside of school. Do you smoke? Do you drink enough water in the day? Those are the things that can cause enough harm to your body that will make you give up and retaliate and say, oh, I'm stressed as it is, I might as well go smoke or something like that. So those are the other factors you need to consider into your life.
Okay.
So like, as to what I'm saying, how do these factors affect your life?
Like what kind of factors? Like
Anything. Like, what kind of factors affect your life? So give me some factors that affect your life.
maybe my ambition or whatever I enjoy doing on my free time. And I don't know. Pretty much like where I live, what I eat, and stuff like that. You're right.
Yeah, that's part of the main issue, because there's so many other clients I got to observe where they said, because of me being in university has caused me to drink every night of the day so I can stay up most of the time, and then in the morning they wouldn't get up for their class because of the fact they've been drinking every day. And that is another factor you need to consider. So in regards to schooling and maybe life outside of school, can you tell me can you give me an example or a situation where you said, I want to give up, and maybe someone said to you, yes, give up, and maybe start doing a bad habit? Can you give me an example or situation where you felt that you wanted to keep going, but the person said to you, give up, why are you wasting your time, and smoke or maybe go and drink?
I don't know a friend like that, and normally speaking, I don't really talk to anybody about me wanting to like give up or being anxious and stuff like that. But like sometimes I do like fall back. I thought, maybe I should just like take a little drink, but like at the end of the day, I still like push myself to get whatever it is done that I need to do, and not falling back on like bad habit, because I know maybe drinking or smoking, it would release my stress, but only temporarily. If you don't like tackle the issue from its own and get things done, then you're just gonna be depressed all over again.
I understand. So what you're saying is that you should never give up on what you're doing unless it's something you really honestly can do. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, like there's a limit for each person. So like, as an individual, like each person should be able to like feel their limit, like ability wise, as well as like mental health wise. If you feel like you just can't cope with whatever that's going on in your life, then it would be sometimes a good idea to take a break.
Can you tell me who impacts you in your life? And what I mean by that is, who can you go to for when you're stressed, when you have issues going on in school, when you have issues outside of school? Who has impacted you in your life to say, I want to be like that person and to keep going on?
I would say like my mom, but like I don't really like. I look up to her and all, and I want to become a person like her, but I don't really talk to her really personally about my problems. Cause a lot of times, because my mom, like, we don't live together and we don't live close to each other or anything like that, so like there's nothing she can really do about it if I run into problems. So I don't really complain about my problems to her, because all that's gonna do is to make her worry about me, and I really don't want that.
So, you said you talked a little bit about your mom. Tell me your relationship with your mom. Like, can you describe that for me?
I mean, we have like a good relationship and all, but we haven't been like living together for years, and I would say we kind of like fall back on each other like emotionally whenever like something huge happens. We will talk to each other about it, and we're good friends. She knows about like everything that I do, everything that's I'm seeing like on a daily basis. But like I try my best not to complain about my problems a lot to her. I pretty much just like bring the good news to her instead of the bad news.
And do you think because of you not telling her everything and because of you not wanting to worry her, does that have an impact on your stress level emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of that?
I mean, I I want to like talk to her about my problems, but the thing is, like, I've tried that before. It just didn't have like a really good impact, and instead, I I put her regular daily routine to jeopardy as well. That she was like losing sleep because she was worrying about me, and there was really not much that she can do. So instead of talking to her, maybe I should like find someone else to talk to about my problems and see if we can like figure out something.
So in terms of you um, being stressed all the time about school, because the one important question I always ask my clients, even if I'm observing or even if I'm interviewing them, is what is your plan in terms of moving forward, of what you want to do so that your health doesn't impact on what you're doing?
Um, I'm guessing maybe I'm not sure. Once school is done, I think I shouldn't be in as bad as the situation right now as where I am. Yeah. So just power through the pain, I guess, and then everything will be fine.
That's really good to have such a nice spirited person like you and to keep going through what you're doing. I admire that. For me, it's just about planning your time wisely. So for example, if I know I'm at placement, I put, okay, from 10 to 3, I'm at placement. Where do I get that break? Oh, at 1 o'clock. So from 1 to maybe 1:30 is my break. And then I schedule maybe, do I want to talk to a friend on the phone? Do I want to talk to my coworkers at my placement, see what they're doing? But then I also plan, how am I going to get my schoolwork done so that I'm not stressed and that I'm not putting my health at risk. And my suggestion to you would be to kind of maybe do something similar along the lines of what I'm doing. And that way you can see, okay, today on Wednesday I have my midterm coming up. How can I study ahead of time so that I'm not stressed? Or if I'm not sure I will memorize everything, who can I ask to maybe be my study partner for the night? And they can ask you. And that's kind of something I suggest maybe moving forward, is to kind of have like a plan of what you want to accomplish throughout the week. Do you think that's something you would find maybe useful?
Yeah, that would be helpful for me to like arrange my time and put things into order and do one thing at a time.
That would be good, yeah. So, in terms of everything going on, do you have any advice or something you would like to share with me that maybe another client I have in the same situation as you can maybe hear from me in terms of advice wise?
I mean, really, for each different client, there can be some similarity in terms of the advice that you give out, but most importantly is the uniqueness of the person, and the advices that you give out should actually suit the person for the person. So I would evaluate the individual more than just general advice. So I would say maybe give like different advices to each person. I'm not sure if that's what you do, but yeah, I mean, maybe like even if you can't pull out anything on the spot, you can still like take time to think of it and maybe like write something down, especially for that person. So yeah.
I don't think I have any more questions to my mind at the moment, but do you have any questions for me?
What kind of role that you think you're actually playing in terms of like interviewing others or trying to like become a counselor? What is the important characteristic that you see in terms of this sort of job or role?
So that's a good question. I would start off with my role is to be here as a counselor, to be here to help you, to kind of guide you in your life, to make sure that you're not doing the wrong choices in your life. Because there is clients that have come forward and they've said, I feel like maybe harming myself, or I feel like maybe leaving my home, and their home is maybe everything they've had, and I come to them and I try to help them, because a lot of clients, the first thing they don't understand or they don't know how to do well is to plan their time effectively, and they would come to me and we would sit for an hour or two depending on the client, and we would go through step by step what they think is the most important thing they should do and to prioritize their time on that. And in terms of characteristics, I feel like I should be a good listener and listen to what they have to say, not always. For example, let's say you say, I went to and then I go, oh, and then I did this, then I did this, and adding my own personal experience, which I cannot be doing because it's not professional of me. I should be caring, where I care about the person, but not as a friend and not as my close person, but as my client and as someone I can trust. I also need to trust my client in terms of what they're saying. If me and my client don't have that trust, I feel like we're just saying a bunch of random words that don't really mean anything, and at the end of the day, my client will go, why did I come to her? She's not really saying anything. She's just saying what those other counselors told me in the past, and for me that's important. And also to share my experiences in a way that will be useful to the client, not just my personal story to go on about me, but maybe for them to get the idea of what their experience is, to hear it from me and to say, okay, so maybe she did it this way, maybe I should go this way.
Awesome. I think you do have a good understanding and you're good at what you do.
Thank you, thank you. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not necessarily, not at the moment.
So, what do you think is the next step moving forward?
For?
overcoming your stress or in general?
I guess I can do the time management thing that you told me about, and I guess we will have to see as we go.
Yeah, I'm very glad you came by today and you came and talked to me. I love your spirit, and I'm being honest. You're one of the first clients that came to me with a smile on their face, even though they've had difficult things going on. Lots of my clients can't do that because their experiences have maybe traumatized them, or it's just too hard to put a smile on your face. But I like that you took the time to come out today, put a smile on your face, and shared your experience with me, because it's important to hear what you have to say. So I thank you for coming today, and I hope I get to see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.